The tavern was louder than usual. Or maybe Jorgrim simply noticed it more. The mug was already half empty, then another, and another. A familiar ritual, a habit from Fjall. The same thing that had followed him through the roads around Mannshire. The same thing that appeared when there was nowhere left to go. No contract to take, no trail to follow, no enemy to hunt. Jorgrim emptied the mug and waited for the feeling to leave. It stayed. Outside, the rain had stopped. By morning, the caravan would leave for Signal Tower. And somewhere beyond those roads, an ancient troll was waiting. The beer had dulled the edges, nothing more. The feeling was still there, quieter now, buried beneath the warmth of the tavern. Jorgrim knew there was no point staying longer. An ancient troll would not wait for him. He returned to his own work. His axes were checked one last time, his armor adjusted, his supplies counted. Nothing forgotten, nothing left to chance. When everything was ready, Jorgrim secured his gear and started walking toward the troll. The feeling returned. His hand moved before thought caught up. The leeches came out without hesitation. A familiar trade. Discomfort for control, pain for silence. A method already known. The troll saw him and roared. The sound tore through the air. The ground answered. Everything else disappeared. Only instinct remained. And the troll. Jorgrim moved, no doubt, no thought. Instinct told him the same thing it always had. Distance kills. Standing still kills faster. He did not run. He did not hesitate. He closed in, slowly, controlled, waiting for openings that were not his. Only moments, only mistakes. Then the pain returned. The leeches still clung beneath the armor. Small, constant, present. A dull pull against the skin. He felt it, but it did not slow him. If anything, it anchored him. His grip tightened, harder than before. No pain, no doubt, only execution. The troll moved. Jorgrim moved with it. At first it worked. Instinct answered instinct, step for step, opening for opening. His axes found timing where there was none. Small cuts, glancing impacts. Enough to mark it, not enough to stop it. The leeches still held under his armor. The pain was still there, constant, familiar, and it kept him sharp for a moment. Then it began to fade. Not all at once. Slowly, like something being pulled back from the edge of a blade. His movements stayed the same, but the edge was gone. A fraction slower, a fraction heavier. The troll noticed before he did. A wide swing came in, closer than before. The impact of the near miss hit harder than the pain ever had. He adjusted again, faster, sharper, forcing instinct to catch up. But something had already changed. The exchange had already happened. Close, violent, incomplete. A cleaner fighter would have slowed down after that, reconsidered, pulled back. Jorgrim did not. The pain stayed in his side. The mistake stayed in his mind. But neither weakened him. Something shifted instead. The noise from before the fight felt farther away now. The hesitation that had caused the error was gone. Not solved, not understood, just gone in motion. His focus tightened again, sharper than before. He moved with less hesitation than he had at the start of the fight. Less waste, less distance. The troll was still dangerous, still massive, still wrong in shape and timing. But Jorgrim was no longer reacting to it like something unfamiliar. He was reading it faster than it could commit. The troll was bleeding now, slowly. At first it barely mattered. Then it started to. It tried to recover. Heavier breaths, tighter movements. That strange resilience working beneath its skin, healing where there should have been damage. But Jorgrim did not give it time. He never did. Instinct kept him moving, not in straight lines, not in patterns that could be read easily, only toward pressure, toward openings that existed for a heartbeat. His axes found them again and again. Each strike carried something more than timing. Pain from his side, the memory of the mistake, the frustration of it. All of it turning into force at the moment of impact. The troll tried to reset. Jorgrim did not let it. Every time it shifted back into stability, he broke it again, step by step, cut by cut. The space between them never fully closed, never fully reset. It stayed unstable, and in that instability, the troll started to lose ground. The troll was slowing down. Each strike from Jorgrim was landing deeper now. The axes were no longer just finding openings, they were forcing them. Metal bit into flesh that no longer moved as fast as before. Jorgrim stayed inside the fight, never giving distance, never giving space. His focus had tightened into something narrow and absolute. The pain in his side never left. It stayed present with every movement. The troll was already falling. The axes came down, heavy, final. The troll collapsed beneath the impact. Silence followed, not sudden, just empty. Jorgrim stood there for a moment, blood on his face, not his own. He wiped it away without urgency. When he opened his eyes again, the fight felt distant, not unclear, just far, like something that had happened through him rather than to him. The focus was gone, the frenzy was gone. Only the result remained. The job was done. Alva was the first to see him return. She didn't need long. The blood, the tusks secured in his pack, the way he walked. It was enough to understand what had happened. But she asked anyway, "How was it?" Jorgrim slowed for a moment. The question again. The same problem as before the fight. Something that could not be carried in words. He looked at her, then briefly at the tusks, then back ahead. "Pain," he said. And then everything else stopped mattering. No more explanation followed. There didn't need to be one. Alva had already seen it. The contract was over. The reward was not small. Coins. more than Jorgrim usually carried at once, and a cloak marked with the crest of Mannshire. He took both without ceremony, without interest in meaning, only value, only use. The camp came first. That was where the coin went. Not into comfort, not into rest, into function. Chicken coops were set up along the edge of the caravan. Simple at first, practical. Messengers followed soon after. Pigeons trained to carry small notes between stops. Nothing complicated, nothing unnecessary. Just things that made movement easier, made survival more stable. Jorgrim watched it all be built without saying much. His work didn't change. The road still needed clearing. Contracts still needed completing. Enemies still needed to be dealt with. But something in him was quieter now. Not different in direction, only in weight. The same work carried differently. Jorgrim kept taking contracts with the caravan. Work moved forward as it always had. One task after another, one road after another. His name, once only known in Mannshire, had started to carry further. Toward Bryn. The city mattered, not for status, not for recognition, for what it allowed. Better equipment, better supplies, better efficiency on the road. Everything that made work cleaner, faster, more reliable. Reputation was not the goal. It was the tool that unlocked better tools. Jorgrim did not rush toward Bryn. He simply followed where the contracts led and where the work made sense. It was work Jorgrim already understood. The roads changed. The enemies changed. The job did not. His axes felt heavier now, not in weight, in impact. Bandits were the first to learn it. Ambushes became fights, fights became executions. The undead followed. Cold crypts, abandoned ruins. The dead rising where they should have stayed buried. Different places, different enemies, the same result. Nothing surprised Jorgrim anymore. Not because the world had become safer, because he had learned how to move through it. Contract after contract, road after road. Bryn waited in the distance, and Jorgrim kept walking toward it. The final contract before Bryn led Jorgrim against the bloodsuckers. Warriors of blood, pain, rituals. But Jorgrim already knew their ways. The bloodsuckers needed time. Time to bleed. Time to grow stronger. Jorgrim gave them none. His axes struck before rituals could begin. Every opening was punished, every wound followed by another attack. The pace of the fight belonged to him. The bloodsuckers sought strength through pain. Jorgrim cut them down before they could use it. With the contracts finished, one final place remained in the caravan: the quartermaster. Unlike the others, he would not be convinced with words. His problem was not trust. His problem was the trouble surrounding him. If Jorgrim wanted the man, he would have to solve that first. Not through negotiation, not through promises, through work. The kind of work he understood best. The work was done. Leif joined the caravan as its final piece. Another pair of hands. Another tool that made the camp stronger. Jorgrim never gave much thought to these decisions. He simply followed the work in front of him, and, more often than not, the advice of Varen. One problem solved, then the next. That was enough. With the camp growing more self-sufficient and the roads around Mannshire becoming familiar, there was little reason to stay. Bryn awaited. A larger city, new opportunities, new problems. Jorgrim had no plan beyond reaching it. When he arrived, they would see what the situation demanded, and from there, decide the next step.